We're going to start recording. Yes, I did this backwards. I don't care.
Okay. Hold on a second.
All right. So once everyone started recording,
I'm good.
There.
Phil's getting into his dress headphones.
There we go. It's like Mr. Rogers.
All right, we're going to do a countdown to a clap.
I gotta start recording. There we go. Cha cha cha. Now
We're going to go on. We're going to do 3, 2, 1, then clap, not 3, 2, clap on 1, just so you know.
3, 2, 1, clap.
Then clap. All right.
Clap on.
All right. Here we go.
0.
3, 2, 1. Close enough.
There we go. Wow, CJ's already throwing shade at us on Slack.
I don't care.
Yeah, how many times you guys want to go live? Beep, 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 beep.
CJ, everything broken. It's your fault.
Yeah, CJ.
I also can't see the chat here, so when our Nazi friend shows up, I'm not sure how I'm going to get rid of him.
Boy.
Yeah, we have a guy who likes to show up on YouTube constantly and just spew racist Nazi crap.
Wow.
It's awesome.
Spend long enough on the internet, I guess, and you're bound to get one of those, I suppose. Wow.
Yep.
That's rough.
Yeah, I don't know how to see the chat, so whatever. All right, let's do this.
I'm not even seeing the option for chat down here.
Neither am I. You know what? It could be because it got disconnected by so many things.
Oh, wait, there it is on the side.
Yeah, there's a couple of things on chat. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I can't. This dashboard is not what I'm used to.
Oh boy,
I have so much control. I have no idea how to do anything. All right.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, you only went live 4 times. Beep, 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 beep.
What did it say?
CJ.
All right. Thanks, CJ. You're really helpful.
You're doing great.
Hello and welcome to episode 794 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, January 25th, 2022. Even though it says CJ up in the corner, I am your host, Greg Stewart. CJ's too good to be here tonight. He's got a wife and kid, and for some reason, he still has to help move. I don't understand.
Unbelievable.
CJ wishes he looked that good.
Right?
Let's face it.
It's true. This is not a mistake. This is... I work hard at this. Except for shit. I don't shave a lot. But anyway, that's right. It was a choice. That's right. Bald became sexy when I went bald.
That's it. That was the trendsetter.
25 years ago. All right. And with me, as always, is the guy from Seattle who bothers to show up every week.
That's right.
Phil Theobald.
Oh, some of us care about this show.
Right.
Some of us care about our audience.
Yeah.
You know? So,
what a guy.
Yeah.
What a guy.
That's me.
And joining us to fill the CJ-sized hole in our hearts, which is getting smaller by the second. Everything he says in the chat makes that hole a little bit smaller. Is Bill Tucker from the A Gamer Looks at 40 podcast. Welcome, Bill.
Hey, thanks for having us, guys. I appreciate it. This is all making me very happy. I do my own show with nobody else. So if I slack off, nobody throws me any shade. It's just me and my own failures. So I appreciate y'all having me on, guys.
To be fair, if CJ was here, we'd still be pointing out his failures. It's not really the fact that he didn't show up. It's just that it's so much fun to do it knowing that he can't respond.
Gotcha.
And where I can't see the chat, even if he was responding, I wouldn't know. So, it's great. Before we get into news this week, Bill, can you tell the people about your show?
Yeah. So as you said, Greg, my show is A Gamer Looks at 40. It's like an oral history of the history of games as told through the everyday people who played it. It's a collection of stories and recollections from friends of mine, family members, streamers I know, YouTubers I've met, bloggers, etc. And every episode is a different game or different era. And it's just a collection of stories. Greg's been kind enough to be on the show a couple of times now. And it's a really fun ride. I'm on episode 33 is releasing tomorrow as of this recording. We're talking about LucasArts and Sierra point-and-click adventures and people's recollections of getting murdered constantly in Sierra games and laughing a lot at Lucasfilm. It's kind of was the theme. But it's really, I think, a different show than kind of a lot that's out there. So, it's been a fun ride so far.
Yeah, the first time I ever heard your show, I'll be honest, I heard about it because you reached out and asked if I would be on, and so I went and listened to a few episodes, and I have to say, I really love the format that you use. It's not three idiots sitting around microphones talking to each other about anything at all. We've kind of cornered that market. I feel like we've perfected it, but No, but I like how you sort of have a bunch of different guests, and that it's
Yes.
just clips of your conversations that are pertain to whatever the subject matter is, which is I think is very cool. It's an interesting way to do it, and I think a really engaging way to do it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's very much so. The goal was to make it almost like a documentary where you have all these different voices, and I'm really into having as many voices as possible per episode because I think people's stories are extremely interesting, and I think getting to the bit to the heart and soul of gaming is cool. And I think even if you've been playing games for any length of time, you have interesting stories to tell about it. It's affected you in some way, and that's what this show is trying to capture. So,
yeah, I think it does a great job, and I highly
man.
recommend
Thank
it to all our listeners. You should definitely go check it out.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Phil, how's it going?
Yeah. What now?
How's it going?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Do anything this week?
Gosh, let's see. What did I? Well, let's start with Monday.
Uh-huh.
Monday,
Yeah.
woke up maybe around 7 o'clock or so. Started getting ready for the day, getting food ready for school. And, oh no, wait, we had Monday off. Oh, I slept.
Yeah, it was a holiday.
My goodness. No,
in your
you
country.
know what I did do this week was you can kind of see it a little bit behind me.
Oh
there.
yeah,
Put
I can
together-
see that your fingers are
Yeah.
completely raw.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yep, I put together my Sonic Lego set. So
How'd you like that?
Very pleased with that. A lot of little 1x1 tiles to put together.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I'm very anal retentive with my Lego.
Oh yeah,
sets.
you got to make sure the corners are all matching
They
up.
can't be askew.
No.
No.
So put them together and then press them on the table. Get a nice level surface, and then just
Mhm. It's the only way to do it right.
push them down. Yeah. So took a little while, but I got it done. So I'm very
That's
very
awesome.
pleased with myself. So too many stickers though. Very
Yeah, there are a
disappointed
lot
by
of
that.
stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Especially on the little
the loop.
there where you have those side pieces that are 3 of the 4 sides covered with stickers. Come on, Lego. Y'all can
Yep.
do better than that. My goodness.
Yep.
Paying a premium
Agreed.
for this set. Jeez Louise. But
I do have to do more though. I'd love to. I really love to see them do. And I know this will never happen, but the way it's built to take on to connect with each other. And actually, I think one of our listeners, Keenad, I think it was, bought 2 sets
oh, okay.
and sort of created a different level based
Oh,
on 'cause
nice.
they are modular, right?
Yes.
Like even the one you have there is like 4 modules basically
Yes.
that fit
Yeah,
together.
you have like a little spring pad piece and the loop and the bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, and it'd be cool if they did like a Sonic 2 set and maybe a
Yeah.
Sonic 3 set and have like the evolution of it. That'd be kind of neat. It'll never
Yeah,
happen,
yeah.
but it would be pretty neat.
You know what though? I
course.
wouldn't say never happen. I
I
mean,
didn't expect a Sonic set either. So
But
or a
the
Voltron set for that matter.
that's just it. And you think about it, the Lego Minecraft sets that started off as a Lego Ideas thing.
Did it really?
Oh yeah. The
Oh, wow.
original it was like a little micro scale set. They
Mm-hmm.
it was just like one little micro scale set, and then they branched it off, and now it's one of their biggest little themes that they've had for years now. So
Biggest little themes.
biggest little theme. Maybe we'll get more Sonic sets in the future. Here's hoping.
Speaking of Minecraft,
Uh-huh.
that leads into our first story pretty well. Basically our main story. So Microsoft was busy this week as well.
They put together any Lego sets?
I
Sorry.
don't know if anyone had any time. I don't think there's any money left to buy any Lego sets.
Lego can be expensive.
Yeah, they
Pricey.
so they bought or they're buying. They haven't completed the purchase yet. I think there's a lot of legal hoops to jump through over that.
Right.
But
They
buying,
pre-ordered.
yeah, they've pre-ordered. They've preloaded Activision Blizzard.
They put $5 down.
Yep.
If they change their mind, they can get that $5 back, or they
Yep.
can apply it to the acquisition of another company.
And knowing the game industry, they probably won't get Activision Blizzard for another 10 years.
Yeah.
If they jump the gun on that reveal, who knows? But 68.7 billion
Mhm.
American pesos.
Wow.
But I mean, Activision Blizzard's pretty big. It's funny though because CJ, God bless him for all his faults, and there are many. He put a bunch of links on our outline here for before the news here, and he actually linked to a Dean Takahashi interview with Bobby Kotick, who of course is the current CEO of Activision Blizzard. Been in the news a lot, not for great reasons lately.
Is it just Dean looking at him and just kind of going, ew?
Actually, if you read the interview, he does bring up a lot of the more not comfortable conversation points about what was affecting Activision stock and everything like that. Anyway, you completely made me lose my thought on what exactly I was going to bring up as far as talking to you. No, there was a point made in that interview which I thought was pretty weird and ironic, saying like, yeah, basically what Kotick is saying at one point is that Activision Blizzard was just too small to compete in the current landscape and the coming gaming landscape.
Gross.
Which is like, what?
They're a startup.
Yeah, just a small little company that made a couple, small titles that you might have heard of, maybe.
Yeah.
Noted indie developer.
Activision.
Yes. Well, from what I understand, isn't it just made up of people who used to be at Atari and decided to hey, let's go make our own little company? So,
yeah, still.
Yeah.
I think actually that's prerequisite for working at Activision, that you once worked at Atari.
Yeah. So there it is.
But yeah, I mean, and it wasn't, I don't think it was meant as a smarmy comment about, and actually I was thinking it was Dean Takahashi who said it, but sort of reading into what Kotick was saying, it wasn't meant as a smarmy comment about, we're the scrappy little guy, but more of a, oh my God, like the companies that we're dealing with and are going to be running the game industry and are running the game industry right now are monolithic.
Right.
That so much so that it makes Activision Blizzard look small.
It's hard to fathom, right? Like, it's really hard to fathom an Activision / Blizzard considered a small player in the video game landscape, considering what they've done. But if you think about it, they probably are. Talk about value and monetary value, and what it's not as scary as it is what's happening now, but what this could lead to. And I don't like looking too far in the future, like getting too ahead of myself. But what else is going to come down the road if Microsoft is saying, hey, Activision, you're small potatoes, because we're planning on bigger potatoes down the line.
Yeah. No, that's really it. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think in that interview, or Simon Carless did an analysis on the acquisition as well. And I think he points out that what Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard for was essentially half of Microsoft's worth, I think. And it's overvalued. I think it actually overvalued the stock a fair amount for the Activision Blizzard shareholders. So yeah, boy, it's just, there's a lot of people throwing a lot of money around. It is a little scary, and it does worry me a little bit. I mean, we're seeing it everywhere. I mean, look at Disney and everything that they're buying. They own everything now in the media, side of entertainment. And yeah, I'm worried that we're going to be going down that road as well. Although it's been a thing that Microsoft, I feel, has been doing for a while now. I felt like Game Pass was kind of the real introduction to this philosophy of, a platform is no longer a physical hunk of plastic and circuitry. It's not just a video game machine. That's not a platform anymore. Like, games themselves are platforms. Like Minecraft is a platform, and Game Pass is a platform. Which is said as much in those various articles that I'm talking about. But they're just it's a very good point. And when Microsoft bought Minecraft, they were very careful to not remove it from all of the different competing platforms at the time, and I feel like that's definitely the way they're going to keep going. But them owning everything is kind of worrisome.
Yeah, anything that involves corporate overlords, it's never a good thing. It's never consumer friendly, that's for sure. Like, it never helps out the people who are consuming the media they're creating. I'm not so concerned about the quality going down, because I think the people making the games are still going to make the games they love, and they're still going to create the art they want to create. But just the business models is what's scary about it.
Yeah, I think actually, and that's an interesting point too, because and Kotick mentioned that in the interview, where he made a point about not being big enough to compete, and it had a lot to do with sort of the experts that they needed access to to create the games that they feel they need to create and want to create, and Microsoft gives them that access. Microsoft's power and money give them the access they need, which is great. And in recent years, especially under Phil Spencer, Microsoft's proven that they're willing to let people create interesting games.
Yeah.
But I also it didn't feel like that long ago. And again, this wasn't under Phil Spencer, so this doesn't mean it'll be the same way this time. But I mean, sure, you guys remember this too. They went through a culling years ago. It was, I think, during the original Xbox still, where they just cut studios left and right, and they killed projects left and right. Like there was, the writing was on the wall, and they decided that certain things weren't going to be profitable, and it was just slash and burn there for a little while, which is why they ended up with almost no studios up until this recent sort of acquisition flurry they've been doing. So I hope that we don't go back that way, but
it's hard.
It's
hard.
We've seen it many times before. EA has been swallowing up and killing studios for years.
Oh yeah.
That's why Origin's not around anymore. That's why Westwood's not around anymore. So, but anyway, who knows? Phil Spencer makes a lot of great decisions, I find, and he's been wonderful for the Xbox brand for a while now, and I hope he keeps it up. But yeah, it worries me when so much of the creative pool in the industry is going to be under one banner.
Yeah, that's just always so scary. Like, I'm not going to, not to reiterate myself, but yikes. Like you said, it's a very good point. It's, they can, it's everything is status quo until it's not good anymore.
Right.
And we're not profitable anymore. And then once that happens, I was very involved in the craft beer scene. The same thing, when InBev buys out a bunch of craft breweries like Goose Island and then Carbach and all these different places, the concern is, the quality is going to go down. And it never does until it stops being profitable.
Right.
Then it starts going down. And then they just start chopping these breweries up left and right. So it's very similar, just on a larger scale, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. When you've got a bigger volume of shareholders to worry about, there's more voices crying out that their stock isn't worth as much as it used to be. So who knows? But hey, stockholders for Activision Blizzard are going to make up pretty well.
Yep.
Yes, they are.
In other news, got a couple of different animated series based on video games coming out. Phil, I would love to get your opinion on what you think of the Cuphead show coming out on Netflix.
I wish it looked like an old Max Fleischer cartoon.
Instead of a Flash cartoon?
Yeah. The game really does a great job of emulating the old 1930s cartoons. Looks
really
like
does.
it, sounds like it, and I watched the trailer, and I'm sure it's going to be fine. It's going to be cute.
Netflix makes good stuff.
Might be funny, I'm sure it will be an absolutely fine cartoon. But yeah, it's just looks like any other modern day animated series, just using 1930s character designs.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's a budget thing. It's got to be more expensive to do that level of Max Fleischer style Coco clown animation, But
I mean, if I remember correctly, you're not even just missing a golden opportunity to put a film grain, scratchy film grain filter over the whole thing, or you know what I mean? Like something to make it
right,
even if it wasn't realistic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I could see them. I could see the reason for them not wanting to do that, just because people who don't necessarily get that, what it's supposed to be homaging would be turned off, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine, but I'm disappointed.
Be right up there with your Earthworm Jim series.
What's that?
Be right up there with the classic Earthworm Jim series.
Oh, what the old 90s one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never got into that.
I know.
Either.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, it also was not animated as well as the game.
It's
Not
true.
at all. Had Homer Simpson in it though.
It did.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was
He was
Earthworm
EWJ
Jim.
himself.
Yep.
And
And Castellaneta.
is that how you say his name?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. Yeah. Dan
But hey,
Castellaneta.
I don't know anything about the Shenmue anime series. Does anyone here care about the Shenmue anime series?
I don't care about Shenmue.
Yeah.
I know. I'm allergic to anime. It's just I have nothing against it, but it's just it causes rashes and it's just makes my stomach hurt. So I really have no interest in it. But look kind. I saw the trailer. Look kind of neat. Look like anime. I don't know. I have really no strong opinions on it. So
It's going to be 50 episodes of nothing happening.
is 50 episodes of very minor advancements in the plot.
Yeah.
Basically. Okay.
Buying gotcha toys and
Gonna
the
be
gotcha
like
toys.
2 minutes of him looking at his socks.
I know that's how it was when
door.
I played Shenmue. Was
Yeah.
just like, well, I have to go save my maybe girlfriend, but look, there's little Sonic toys in this machine over here.
I can play Hang On. Well, here,
right?
There you go.
Let's do that.
Well, I got a couple
That's neat.
bucks. I'm gonna stop on, and the arcade's on the way to the docks.
Hopefully, every
that's-
time he runs out of the room, he gets snagged on the door and kind of is running in place against the door frame for a few seconds as he rights himself.
Sitting there at home wondering why he's got a Sega Saturn and it's 1986.
Well,
Hey,
things happen.
Sega's first. And we finally have a release date for Lego Star Wars.
We do the Skywalker Saga.
Skywalker Saga.
Yeah.
The oft delayed. Was it April 5th?
So that was just because of COVID, right?
I
Excuse me.
don't know.
It was just because they haven't given a reason why it was so delayed.
They may have. I honestly, I don't know. I wasn't paying that close of attention. I saw that.
Really?
It is April 5th, right?
Yeah, April 5th.
Or 5? Yeah. Okay. I've had that game pre-ordered since 2020, summer
Trying to remember.
2020, I believe.
There was one game I had left. I stopped doing pre-orders
Yeah.
ages ago.
Yeah.
And, it was the E3 pre-order thing. Like somebody always had a deal going on. And I remember, I think up to last year, there was something that I had pre-ordered for 5 or 6 years. And I think it was the last round that I'd actually pre-ordered anything. I
Yeah.
forget what it was though.
Maybe it was before that. Oh no, yeah, it was probably around that. I pre-ordered it when I still had my Best Buy Gamers Club unlocked.
Yes, we never had that here.
membership, which ended, I think, a year or so ago. Maybe 2 years. I've had this game pre-ordered for quite some time. Because it's Best Buy over here in the States. You get the if you order the.
Don't get
I
me
don't know if you
started
have
on
to
Best
order
Buy.
Huh?
Don't get me started on Best Buy.
Oh, I know you're a fan. That's where you got your TV, right? So
How is that going, by the way? That's a break into that.
There's been movement, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, the last I spoke about that, it was that I was getting a replacement, but nobody knew when.
Yeah.
And then I called a Geek Squad again after somebody was supposed to call me back and hadn't.
Yeah.
And was told that I was getting a refund in store credit
Oh, okay.
for this TV I bought on sale a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
To which I asked, well, it was a two-part question. A, how is that a replacement? And B, it's not going to be enough money to replace the thing either way because I bought it on sale. I said, how much am I getting? Am I getting the price of the TV so I can go buy another one? Or am I getting my sale price? And they said, well, you're getting the sale price. So I need to pony up like another $500 to replace this television then. At which point I was told very succinctly, we should have read the fine print.
Ugh.
So I was incensed at that. And I was home on Friday all day because I got my booster shot, Moderna, and boy, did I have a reaction to that. So I was homesick all day and stewing over that conversation all day. So I wrote probably a 3-page email outlining what had happened and how I would really like to have it fixed and sent it to Best Buy customer service here in Canada, but also went and figured out what the email format was for, personal emails at Best Buy Canada.
Yeah.
And found the names of the corporate team and sent it to all of them as well. And not thinking I would get a response. Got a response back the next day.
Wow.
Look at you.
Yep. Saying this is awful. This is not the kind of customer service experience we want our our customers to have, and we've contacted the company we use for logistics on warranty claims, and we're going to get this sorted out for you this week. So hopefully something comes of it. I couldn't believe I got an email back.
We'll see what happens.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So hey,
Hopefully.
hopefully.
So,
But I
I
still
got
have-
my Star Wars pre-ordered there, so I can get that. They got a steel book. They
Yeah.
they have an exclusive steel book.
Don't
I
buy
know
the
how it is-
extended warranty.
Well,
No.
the steel book looks like Han in Carbonite. So
That's cool.
But a Lego
Cute.
Han?
yes, of course it is.
Well,
Yes.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. It's a Lego game, so
I
it makes
I know.
sense. It makes sense. They do the
Naturally.
Lego.
So few things
Lego
do.
version. I'm excited about that game though. I can't wait.
It looked really cool. It reminded me of a shameful admission I have to make, which is I've never played a Lego game. I've never played
What?
a single Lego game. And it's one of those series I'd like to get into, and then something else happens, like a baby cries or a child needs a thing, and I just forget about
Are they
it for
your
6 months.
children or
My children, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, not random kids, in the
Somewhere a
neighborhood.
child is in turmoil. I can't play a game.
I can't
at
play
time
this
like
game.
this.
Not in good
distracted me
conscience?
from my desire to play Lego Star Wars. So I've never played. It looked really fun from the trailer I saw. So yeah, it's one of the series I just need to get into because it just
I
seems
mean,
like
it's
Lego
yeah,
games are a good time.
yeah, it's more. It's
especially
more.
with sorry.
Oh no,
sorry,
no,
go
I
ahead,
was
Phil.
just saying it's more surprising that you haven't played one just based on the sheer number of them
Yeah.
out there.
Maybe it's because I don't know which one to jump into. Especially with I have a son who's 5 and he's starting to play games, and it'd be fun to play with him.
Okay.
He's super cool.
Actually, that's one of the best things about those games because I mean my kids aren't that young anymore, but they're so easy to play and they're
Mhm.
always multiplayer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you can always play together, but they're not super difficult at all. And
Right.
it's not like if you're not good at it, it's not punitive in any way. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So because if you die, you die. You lose some Lego studs, which are currency basically in
Mhm.
the game, and then you
Yeah.
just keep going. And if you're playing 2-player, they're very easy to play. So you've got that on one hand, especially if your kid's not super into games yet or just starting to get in, and
Yeah. Mhm.
But on the other hand, they're written really well most of the time, and
Yeah.
there's so many jokes that your kid's not going to get, but you're
Right.
going to love.
Gotcha.
If it's a property you love. So if you're playing like Star Wars, you're playing Indiana Jones or the Marvel games, or my God, the Jurassic Park games, the Harry Potter games. I mean, any of
Yeah.
those properties that they've done, there's always some great gags that
Yeah.
Okay.
it really reminds me of old school Looney Tunes writing.
Okay.
Or not even that old school, even like the 90s stuff, like
Mhm.
the 80s, or I guess the 90s, like
Tiny Toons and
Animaniacs and Tiny Toons, where it's like the visual gags are funny, so the kids are going to get it, but there's always like references that the kids aren't going to get, but you're going to find funny. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
really, you can jump in any
Yeah.
of them, whatever property you like.
Yeah. He likes Marvel and especially Spider-Man. So
There you go.
Okay.
yeah. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
it might be
there
a
are
good pickup for me. Yeah.
there are varying degrees of
Sure.
like, I mean, some are really good and some are just kind of like, yeah, okay, this
Yeah.
one's fine. But
Right.
the Marvel ones, there's 2 Marvel superhero games.
Those are the two I haven't played, actually.
Oh, really?
I
Yeah,
never
they're
tried
good.
them.
They're good. And then you got the Avengers one.
Mhm.
I mean, if you want to dive in with the kid, maybe pick up Marvel or the Marvel superheroes too, just because like the Avengers one is kind of focused on like the Avengers films, so
Okay.
it's a little more MCU
Gotcha.
themed, whereas like the Marvel superhero ones are more kind of comic licensed, so there's a little more variety in the characters and stuff like that. But
I think for some reason he's into Batman. The Batman ones are good.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
Batman 2 and 3 are
Batman
good.
2, yeah. And is
Yeah,
the DC villains ones, are they any good?
Yeah, they're actually pretty fun. But
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the gag is you're playing as the bad guy.
Bad guy. Yeah.
But it's and it's good too because you got like Clancy Brown is voicing Lex Luthor in that, so you have it feels kind of like the animated series, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those are fun games.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, it's a series I gotta jump into.
Yeah, and well, the nice thing too is because there's a zillion of them out there,
Cheap.
Yeah.
they are cheap. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think even like I think they're having a sale on them on Switch right now. Where
And if they aren't now, they will be soon.
yeah, but I think they are where they're like maybe like $10 a pop or something if that. So
Cool.
there you go.
Neat.
There's our Lego pitch.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now that that's out of the way,
Mm-hmm.
let's jump into what you've been playing.
Oh, good.
And since Bill, you're our special guest, we're going to start with
Oh,
you. What have
cool,
you been
man.
playing this week?
I am kind of like trying to find a game to latch onto. I'm like testing some games. So I received a PS5 for my birthday this year, which was cool.
Ooh,
Nice.
Right?
congratulations.
Yep. Thank you. I know. I was it was my birthday is right around Christmas, and I was
Yeah.
I grew up in New Jersey, and I was flying back from New Jersey with this PS5 in hand because I'm not going to check this thing. Like you got to rattle around by a bunch of baggage handlers. You would think I'd had like a briefcase full of gold, like Pulp Fiction briefcase strapped to my wrist. I got no less than at the first leg with like 15 people say, "Whoa!" Like, who did you rob to get that? Like,
Anyone
you
try
would
to
have
buy it off
thought.
you?
No, no
Oh,
one
really?
did.
A little surprised.
No one did, and actually, I was a little surprised. No one offered. I think they saw how zealously I was gripping the handle, and they put and then they saw a child, a 5-year-old with me, probably yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, you would have thought. So I figured I got to play something on it, and my brother-in-law got me Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm interested. And then so I picked up Deathloop from because I love that studio. Arcane is one of my favorite studios going. A big fan of Dishonored, and one of the few places that still know how to do an immersive sim, which is super my jam. I dig it. It's okay. It hasn't grabbed me yet. I'm waiting for it to really get its hooks in. Like I see what it's trying to do with its gameplay and the death loop, as it were. So I'm enjoying it, but I'm waiting for it to really grab me and say, okay, time to really ramp up. I'm playing Cuphead for the first time, which is very apropos to our conversation before.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. It's punishing but fair. It's punishing but fair. I never get upset at it. I can't get upset at it because I know my failures are my own.
My son and I started playing that for the first time the last couple of weeks as well, but we were kind of playing it separately, and we want to play it together, and that's what the TV thing is what's kept us from doing that. But I played like the first island, and I had never touched it because I was a little bit afraid of it, just because I didn't want to spend the money on it and find out I was so bad at it that I didn't like it. But what I played so far, I agree. It's like it's not a cakewalk by any stretch of the imagination, but what I've played so far is very learnable. You know what I mean? Like the bosses have very specific patterns that you can learn if you're just patient. So I'm really digging what I've played of that so far.
Yeah, and like you said, Phil, like the art design is just outstanding. I mean, it looks beautiful. Yeah. I mean, I love how expressive not only the characters are, but like all the enemies have these really beautiful expressive animations and a little creepy sometimes too, which I appreciate. Some of it's a little creepy, but it's great. I just like that. That's excellent.
30s cartoons are a little creepy too. So
no, that's they sure are.
Kind of the fun of it.
Enjoying that one. And then two others. I'm playing a game right now. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's called The Coin Game. Okay,
I
Yes.
Picked that up on Steam a few weeks ago. And I've played a little bit of it so far.
I kind of love that game. It's you basically play as a kid, and there's two modes. There's like a story mode where you have to like earn money, or you play it in birthday mode where your uncle gives you $200 to play in an 80s arcade, and you just play ticket games. And that's all it is. It's coin pusher, it's skee ball, it's the hockey game where it pushes the little pucks with the ticket amounts in it. It is like my zen going to bed. I'll throw it on for 20 minutes, listen to a podcast and just chill out and play coin game. I haven't touched the story mode. I just want to live in that little 80s arcade for 20 minutes that stretch. It is fantastic. I don't think it might be free. It might, or a couple bucks. I don't remember.
It does cost money. It's in early access.
It is early access, yes.
So but it's a cute little game. Like I said, I haven't played much of it yet, but it's a really fun concept, and
I think the story concept, again, I haven't played it yet, is you have to like earn money to play more games at the arcades. You do like mowing the lawn and childhood stuff that you would do to just blow at the arcade.
Nice.
It's good fun. It is really good fun. They even have a little ticket taker where you kind of put your tickets in and it counts them up. No satisfying machine on the face of the planet. The thing that sucks your tickets in and rolls them up. Oh yeah, it has one of those. It's just it's got a lot of kinesthetics. And then finally, I'm gonna have to start playing for the second time a game I don't like, which is Bioshock Infinite. My good buddies at Games My Mom Found, we've been walking through the Bioshock series, which I adore. I love the series, except for Infinite, which I don't like that game very much. Hopefully that doesn't your listeners don't throw things at me because I know it's a beloved title.
No, our listeners know better than that.
They already heard that from us.
Yeah.
Okay, good. It's not a good game.
No.
And but I am gonna play through it again for my pals at Games My Mom Found because I'm gonna suffer through it. So
suffer for the art.
Yeah, really.
Basically.
It's every now and then I'll I don't know why. I'll play the beginning of Bioshock Infinite just to remind myself how much potential that had.
I was so excited for that game.
Right? The opening opening levels in that game are fantastic.
Yeah. Fantastic.
The world is so great. And just when you don't also when you didn't know what was going on at first, and like because it was a Bioshock game, so a lot of us probably approached it the same way, where it's like, well, I don't want to know too much about this before I go into it,
right?
Because it'll ruin the narrative, and the narrative was so strong in the first one. So like I remember, I think there was like a barbershop quartet in the early areas that was singing a Beach Boys song.
God only knows,
right? And it's like, and I heard it's like, wow, that's the Beach Boys. They're singing like an a cappella version, a barbershop quartet version of this Beach Boys song. That's weird, but very cool.
Oh, insanely cool,
right?
It's just that it's because it has so much promise. Like the world of Columbia has so much promise, and like that emergent kind of gameplay where you hear this song from our world, played in that world, and it just your mind goes places. And Lutessa is doing their time travel-y stuff. It's fun, and that's just a very average corridor shooter with, I'm not going to get into how morally, in my opinion, awful it is, but it's just not a fun game at all. I don't know why people loved it.
It was all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to go into it with fresh eyes as much as possible and just see how I feel about it this time around. But I am not expecting my opinion to change very much.
Good luck.
There.
All right. Anything else there, Bill? Or
no, that's basically it, man. That's where I've been again with the podcast as well, just kind of cranking away at that. My gaming time is pretty short, so that's kind of where I've been at right now.
I gotta ask you this though.
What's up?
So you say you're looking for a game to really settle into right now.
Yes.
You say you just got a PS5. You say you got a kid who loves Spider-Man. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Ratchet and Clank,
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh, sorry.
No, I haven't.
No, have you played Miles Morales?
Well, okay. You completely fooled me. Yeah, I have not played Miles Morales. It's funny. My brother-in-law let me borrow the first Spider-Man, the PS4 one, which I have yet to play. So I was figuring maybe I'll play that and then I'll do Miles Morales. I hear that was 2018 Spider-Man is pretty awesome. So
they're both great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and you can, if you get there's a like special edition of the Miles Morales game that comes with a PS5 port of the original Spider-Man game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they are both some of the best games that I've played in recent years.
Okay,
and
that might be a great starting point. Yeah, like he loves Spider-Man, so he watches on Disney Plus. There's like these kid animated Spider-Man movies show. It's like one season of it's adorable, and
the little like where they're like little cutesy like Spider Gwen's in there and Miles and Peter. Yeah.
It's super cute. So I think he would dig that. That's a good point.
He definitely, I'd say, love to watch it if nothing else. It might be a little bit tough for him to jump into depending on his skill level, but fun to watch for sure, and fun to play. Fun to play.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, definitely check those out.
Right on.
What else you been playing, Phil?
Oh well,
I'm into
I mean,
yeah.
I wasn't.
I know,
I
but
wasn't
we're into
playing
you now.
Miles Morales lately, but
Maybe you should
you
have.
know, it's like, well, it's a great. I mean, I played through it twice. What do you want from me, man? I've been playing more Res S7. Still, or what Res S7?
I don't know where
I've
that
played
went.
Across S7. I've
Yeah.
also been playing Res on my Oculus. I'm looking
Okay.
at my
Yeah, I know.
my list
I
here.
knew
and
why you mixed.
you knew, yeah.
Yeah, I knew that
Yeah.
why those were the
I'm
two
playing-
you mixed. But
I'm playing Picross S7, which is great. I love Picross. But also I busted out Res Infinite on the Oculus.
so can you play through the whole game in VR?
No, yeah.
In Resident
But
Evil? 'Cause
I don't know if you're aware of this, but the Oculus is a VR headset.
I know. I
So-
know that. But what I'm saying is that, because I seem to remember that there was only a level or two in the PlayStation version that you could play in VR.
Oh, really?
I think I might have that wrong.
No,
Maybe
this
I'm
is-
remembering
yeah,
wrong
it's
on
all-
that.
It's all
Okay.
VR.
Maybe I'm wrong on that.
And it's I mean, it's Res. You've played Res.
I love Res.
Res is great, and when you're in Res and it's all flooming around you, and
Synthesasia.
enemies are coming at you from every which way, and
All you can think about is Space Channel 5 and Sega Rally.
all I can think about is boy, I wish my trance vibrator could hook up to this headset so I could
We all know that you don't want it on your headset.
well, it would connect to the headset, and where because there's a cord.
And then land
And
wherever
where-
it lands.
Where it stops, nobody knows.
I think we all know.
kind of like Coin Game, just like another.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fantastic. I'm digging that. And
No motion sickness or anything?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Keep
I
trying.
have a pretty decent stomach for the motion sickness. We've talked about this a bit with
I know,
the
but I still wanted to bring it up.
VR. The times I've tried doing like free movement in a VR game, there's the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge game on Oculus.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, which I've only played a very little bit of so far, but it defaults to the kind of step by step movement, where you
Most of them do.
you basically move a little cursor on the ground with the analog stick, and then you snap to that location, or you can switch to free movement, and I can do that for a minute or two before the stomach starts churning. And man, certainly the on the PlayStation VR, Minecraft has a VR mode.
Oh,
that it's, I mean, it's amazing because it is full VR. You are just boom, you are in your Minecraft world. And again, you can switch that to free movement, which sounds like it's going to be the best thing in the world.
right.
But well, first of all, it's terrifying. It turns out Minecraft, when you are living in that world, is a horror show.
Now you know why none of the villagers can actually speak.
Exactly. Their
Their brains are just so broken. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you start going down into a cave in VR and you can't see anything. And then
Nope.
you just hear the little coming up, and you turn around and there's a 6-foot creeper like right in your eye level. It's not fun. But then, yeah, you start getting, if you're in the free movement mode, yeah, I start getting real sick real quick with that. But Res, no, I'm fine with just, you're traveling through a tunnel and stuff's, flying by you, and you're locking on targets and and making little music and everything. It's great fun. So
The motion sickness thing is not something that I ever dealt with before. And the great tragedy was that PSVR racing games are what do it to me.
Oh no.
Which is like the main thing I wanted VR for.
Seriously.
Right? Like, as you can see by like the the steering wheel and chair setup behind me here.
Right.
But I remember firing up Gran Turismo's VR mode
Oh yeah.
and going for about 3 laps, and he's like, "Nope, can't do it." And then I had a friend over at one time, I think one of the WRC games, which is rally
Yeah.
racing. So, not only are you driving, but you're also the car's shaking a lot.
No.
And I played a stage in, I think it was WRC, and that's the closest I've ever come to throwing up. in
Oh
VR.
wow.
Like I was physically ill when I took that thing off.
Yikes.
It looked really cool,
Oh yeah.
but whew.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think it was? Would you think it was just the speed and kind of your head naturally trying to see what was going on?
It's my brain wants to feel the force of the effect. You know what I mean? Like if I'm turning in a car, if you're turning left at a high speed, very fast, which is high speed, at a high speed, my brain is waiting for my body to be thrown right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if it's bumpy, my brain wants my body to be jostled around, and none of that's happening. So yeah, I really want to try. There's a place, and then in the before times, I was going to go do this. I haven't had the guts to go out and do it since the plague, but there's a place the next town over that's sim racing. You can, it's one of those places you can go in and you can rent time on like iRacing and stuff like that. And I think they hold events, but they have rigs like with the pneumatic lifts and everything like that that you can play in VR, I believe. And I want to go try that because I feel like that will be the difference. Like if the rig is shaking the way it should and exerting the proper forces on my body, then I think my head will be like, yeah, this is cool. And then I'll have an excuse to go buy like a multi-$1,000 rig and install it in my house.
You need a full haptic suit like a true gunter.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you that Star Wars thing that we did in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Had no problem with that.
Nope. I did not either.
That was full body.
Boy, we looked like idiots.
Oh my God. I'm
picture.
surprised the vests fit.
I found that picture the other day of the three of us in our friggin' Ready Player One get up.
That was a
coming
good time,
out of that
though.
thing. Oh, it was great.
It's great.
It was a hoot and a holler. But
we kept waiting to run into a wall or something.
I know. But we did okay.
No, we did fine.
Oh man.
What else you been playing, Phil?
But did I talk about my little VR prescriptions last week?
You said you were gonna get them.
They haven't shown up yet. I did order them though. I went to my optometrist and got my my prescription data for the numbers on my lenses and everything, and I placed my order. So I'm very excited for those.
I'm really interested to hear about that.
Yeah, I mean they're just, you pop them right over the lenses inside the helmet. So sounds like it's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, I mean, I've found with the PlayStation VR, I never had a problem because it's so comfortable to wear with glasses.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing. Yeah, the PlayStation VR headset is a fair bit wider than the Oculus one. So yeah, my glasses just simply will not fit.
Well, we've got that wide head to fit over already.
Big, fat
and I say that as someone who suffers from the exact same problem.
Yeah,
I get
it. I get it. And I have wide glasses.
That you do, 4 eyes.
I know. Should have got those little like John Lennon glasses. I'd be fine. But I went with this. They make me look smarter. But
okay.
The only other thing I have been playing this week is I picked up an arcade archive, the latest arcade archive release. I know we've talked about them recently on the show. They put out a Namco game, a somewhat obscure Namco game. It's called Hopping Mappy.
I assume it stars a police mouse.
A police mouse, the titular police mouse, Mappy. This is a sequel to the classic Namco arcade game, which I first heard about. I mean, I don't want to say recently, but probably within the past 20 years or so. I certainly never heard about this game or played this game back in the 80s when it was released.
Did it come here?
I don't know.
I wonder.
Maybe, possibly. I can't imagine it got a wide release. But yeah, there's a sequel to Mappy, kind of like the same way there was a sequel to Dig Dug that
Right.
I never saw that in arcades. I know it came out on the NES over here back in the day, but
Wasn't very good.
no, well, neither is Hopping Mappy.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and I love Mappy.
I know you do. That's
I'm a big fan of the old Mappy game. But yeah, this one the gimmick is Mappy is on a pogo stick, and he's bouncing around just on the surface, just on the ground, and it's the same kind of thing where you're collecting little treasure items, just like in the original Mappy, but now instead of a straight kind of side view maze chase, now it's just you're kind of a top-down perspective, and you're just bouncing around trying to dodge cats and collect the things, and it's not terribly good, but I still felt obligated to buy it because
it's
love me
Mappy.
some Mappy. I do love me some Mappy, and it's it's a weird little novelty. It's not a game that gets re-released often on Namco Museum collections and stuff like that. So I figured
Has it been on Namco Museum collections? Because they had a lot of stuff on those, like fairly obscure stuff. I seem to remember.
You know what? It's there's been so many Namco collections over the years on a million different systems, and it's always just kind of like they're picking and choosing things seemingly.
My brain always goes to the PlayStation games, the original PlayStation games,
the 5 discs, the NAMCO.
But I know there's been a lot more than that. That's where I go immediately.
Oh yeah. I don't think it was on any of those. I might be wrong about that.
That's your homework for next week.
I think it was. So, but yeah. Not there.
I remember those Namco games being so sought after, the original runs before they were the greatest hits, and they had the green stripes on the sides because, of course, the covers spelled Namco, right? Like they were just the big letters.
Yeah.
And people being so weirdly focused on getting those original. I don't know why. It just always seemed to come up.
Because his greatest hits are trash. With that big green glob mucking up the cover. No one wants that.
No
one wants that. That's it for me, Greg. What have you been playing?
I've been playing old games too. Speaking of Namco, one of the games that I played this week was actually everything that I played this week was basically stuff that I streamed. And on Saturday, I did a 3-hour stream of Donor Demand games. So this is
I believe people who Donair
Demand. Oh man, I had Donair last night, and it was everything I dreamed it could be. So people who donate to Extra Life, $10 or more, get to pick a game for me to play on a future stream. And this past Saturday, I did a 3-hour run to sort of clear out the backlog a little bit. And Ridge Racer 5, it was a PlayStation 2 stream. Ridge Racer 5, I played for an hour. That game still holds up. That game is so good. And I was just sort of reliving. It was funny. Well, not funny. It was interesting because anybody who's listening to this show, if you follow us on Twitter, you follow CJ on Twitter in particular, you'll know that CJ had a terrible time this week when he discovered that most of, if not all, of the game collection that he had in storage had been stolen.
Yeah.
He had in a storage unit because he and his family have lived in an apartment for the last couple of years. So of course he had things in storage, and the reason he's not here right now is they're moving into their new home. They're homeowners again. So congratulations on that. But yeah, went to the storage unit and it had been cleaned out.
Oof.
And so we were talking about that on the and I'm sure CJ will talk a lot more about this next week. But we were talking about that on the streams. The people who watch my streams are usually made up of people who listen to the show. And somebody had mentioned, actually Scoop Joey, longtime listener, had mentioned, like, is there anything we can do for CJ? I feel so sick about what's happened. We
Mhm.
talked about that a little bit, and then we got on to the subject of, the monetary worth of the stuff that disappeared. That sucks, and I'm sure it was quite high.
Mhm.
Just because CJ's been collecting games for decades
Mhm.
and been in the games media since the mid 90s, so a lot of the stuff there, probably had a high monetary value. But I'm guessing that the memories attached to that stuff are probably far more important.
Yeah.
And we were kind of talking about that based on Ridge Racer 5. Like when I'm playing Ridge Racer 5, yeah, it's not the most amazing looking game nowadays because it's 20
Mhm.
years old. But when I'm playing it, I'm 23 again, and I'm sitting at Ziff Davis because I played a ton of that game to do the coverage in Expert Gamer and to the review in EGM. I played through it, like unlocked everything in the Japanese version that we had at the office, and then bought it
Oh, jeez.
day one for PlayStation when the PlayStation 2 launched, and played through the entire thing again. And I mean, my love for that game, it's a good game, but my love for it is entirely based on nostalgia. And it just, we were having that conversation at the moment, and it's like, yeah, like that's why this game is important to me. There are plenty of other racing games that are much better and much more modern, but I will pick that up anytime because it's like listening to music, right? It immediately teleports me back to a time that I was very happy. So anyway, it's sort of that was the topic we got onto, and a bunch of other old stuff this week. Space Channel 5 was one of the other games that I played this past week. Same thing. CJ and I bought our copies of Space Channel 5 on the Dreamcast when we were on a trip to, I don't know, one of the states near Illinois. I don't know states. Going to a UFC show, but Space Channel 5 came out, and for some reason we decided we needed to stop at a Best Buy or something that day, halfway between the states, and buy Space Channel 5 because for some reason we needed it now, even though we couldn't play it until we got back home. And of course, that's related to Rez. Same guy created it. Why not?
That's true.
Two other games that I played this week. Two other classic games that I played this week. One was great. One was terrible. The terrible one was Dirge of Cerberus, which was a Final Fantasy VII spinoff starring that vampire character,
Vincent
Valentine. Yep. Sounds like something from Pulp Fiction, but
it's halfway is.
Kind of is, yeah. But yeah, boy, that was terrible. I'd never played it before, and it's an action game. Almost when I started it up, I thought maybe this is like a prototypical. This is what Final Fantasy VII Remake became, but it didn't. This is just a terrible. It looks like they were trying to cash in on
Devil May Cry knockoff.
Devil May Cry, exactly. It felt like they were trying to cash in on Devil May Cry and just got it completely wrong. It's just slow and plodding. Nothing's happening half the time. The combat was awful. The one cool thing was that you had 3 different weapons, all guns, but you could, upgrade them based on getting a bunch of different items, and they changed the way the weapon looked. That's kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like that was kind of fun to mess around with, especially because the materia looked like it was just a little charm dangling off the base of the gun, which is hilarious. But that was like that and the cinematics were great because it was Square 20 years ago. Of course, they were great. But otherwise, pretty forgettable. The game that I did play that I was amazed at how much I enjoyed was Fatal Frame 2. I've never played a Fatal Frame game before. So these are horror games from Tecmo, where you might guess from the title, you take pictures of ghosts. Kind of like Pokemon Snap, but haunted. Not at all like that. But yeah, like your main weapon against these ghosts that are attacking you is to take pictures of them, and you get different upgrades for your camera and different types of film that basically you're waiting for the ghost to get as close as they can, and then you snap a picture of them, and that actually damages them. I didn't think I'd like it nearly as much as I did, and man, it was really great. It's especially if you're into Japanese horror movies, I would say it sort of like The Ring or something like that. If that sort of thing does it for you, like if you're a fan of that sort of horror movie, and I know that that's like the most basic that's what every, white guy who's never seen any other horror movie but The Ring, Japanese horror movie but The Ring, is going to say. But still, it's the same vibe. Creepy as all hell. Especially because you got to let these ghosts get very, very close to you before you snap them with the camera. But I just I didn't want to put it down when I was done. I it's taken me a long time to play those because I'm not necessarily a big horror game fan, but I was enjoying every second of it, and giving me tingles too, fighting that way where you had to wait before you actually reacted to anything until the very last second, just ratcheted up the intensity to that, that whole other level. I just loved it.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah. And with that, I think it is now time for tweets.
Twiddly-diddly-dee. What twiddly-diddly-dee? Tweet.
So since I'm doing CJ's role this week, I prepared for this about as much as CJ ever prepares for it.
Oh. So you're
not at all.
Kind of reading some tweets off.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with this one from hacker alias Bass Guy GT, or is it Bass Guy GT? I don't know. What was the first game or series of games that your kids took interest in? My 4-year-old daughter has been watching me play through all the Metroid games. She is always asking to play more Samus.
Oh.
I think, Bill, we talked about this a little bit already with you. You're kind of waiting for your kid to get into.
He likes Mario Kart. That's his go-to right now. So he loves Mario Kart, Deluxe 8 or 8 Deluxe, whatever it is. He's getting, at first, actually, I'll tell you a quick story about it. He, at first, he started playing, he was just 4. And he started playing it. So I put all the easy stuff on, like the assisted steering, the auto acceleration, because I don't want to, ruin this child. I want him to have some fun experience.
Sure.
He doesn't have to get good right now. He can get there. So one day, I've been thinking about so one day he goes to a friend's house and they're playing it was a Lego Star Wars something. So he picks up the controller and he doesn't start pushing buttons. He just expects it to do its own thing. And his friends are kind of not laughing at him, but no, you got to hit this button. And he's very confused. Well, how come the game isn't doing its thing? Because one day he had to go to the bathroom, dropped the switch, went to the bathroom, came back, and he was still in 4th place because he's on 50cc with all the easy stuff on, and it's just doing its own thing. So at that point, I realized, well, I'm a terrible father because now I'm teaching my kid games just play themselves. You don't need to try at these things. So one day, it was a little bit after that, he's playing Mario Kart. I look over, and in Mario Kart, you can see if the assisted steering's on. You get the little it's a little yellow ball. And there was no yellow ball. I was like, oh, somehow, some way he turned those things off by hitting some random button. And he was doing okay. He wasn't doing nearly as good. The training wheels were off naturally, and he was doing okay. So it was a really cool, dad game moment.
Yeah, that's
great. He was able to play at 50cc without the easy stuff on naturally. But anyway, he loves that. He's trying to learn to play Yoshi's Crafted World and Mario Deluxe, which he's not quite there yet with Mario. He can get through the first couple levels, but he doesn't know how to run jump yet. So just that idea of holding, and it's amazing, the things that we take for granted is for a kid, it does not come easily. The idea to hold a button and hit this one to do a run jump. He's got the ground pound down, but he's working really hard at it. He's always trying. Every day or every other day he's trying. So that's kind of where he's at.
It's funny that you say that, though, because on the flip side of that, the thing that I noticed with my kids as they were younger is completely fearless when it comes to mobile devices and using touchscreen, sort of almost intuitively figuring out how to use things like that.
Yeah.
Which might say much more about me as a parent that they had that much experience with them when they were younger. But still, it's really pick that stuff up. But yeah, I can see, again, those of us who've been gaming for 30 or 40 years aren't intimidated by a controller with 12 buttons on it.
Yeah,
and don't worry about or can figure out what to do. What should work at least.
Right.
What about you, Phil?
He early on. he really took an interest to me playing Rayman Legends on
I
Switch.
remember you talking about this.
Yeah,
That's cool.
which is a great game. It's a
Mhm.
really, really fun platformer, beautifully animated. My goodness. And yeah, he really, really got a kick out of watching me play that. Especially there are some music-based levels in that game where you're just kind of like it's kind of like an auto scroller, and you're running and kind of jumping over obstacles and attacking enemies, and the way everything is timed, it's all to the beat. So whenever you hit an enemy, it's like boom, making like a cymbal crash or something that just adds to the sort of rock song that's playing in the background. And as you get further in the level, it intensifies, and then it ends with just like this kind of epic guitar solo at the end, which I played through that level many, many times because he would just, I'd finish it and he'd, I want to see that again. It's like, okay, let's do it again. We'll load it back up.
My kids love the song Black Betty because of those games.
Oh, nice.
Because that's the first one in one of those games. And I don't know if there are more than one Rayman game that does levels like that, but that's the first one I remember seeing.
Okay.
That's as much as I've played of that game, to be honest. We got to that level and played it over and over again.
But yeah, it's a good game. And pretty early on, I was playing some Minecraft, and he took a liking to that and ended up, really, really getting super into Minecraft for a while once he kind of got used to the whole 3D movement and everything like that. So yeah, those were probably some of the first ones that he took an interest in. And then of course Pokemon and
right,
that sort of thing as well.
For my kids, I mean, my oldest took a long time to really. She was sort of interested in video games, but not crazy into them. I'd say the first one she got really super into was Roblox.
Oh yeah.
But she's since moved on to Animal Crossing. But I mean, we're talking like 12 and 13 by the time she was really getting into them. My son, super into Minecraft. Same thing. Minecraft was the game for him that made him fall in love with video games. Being surrounded by them his whole life. But and then my youngest is huge into Roblox as well. She lives to play Roblox. So for better or worse.
Now, Finn, because he got his own Switch for Christmas, so he will sit in his room with his laptop playing Roblox while he's holding his Switch playing Animal Crossing right now. So
nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's really, really deep into both of them right now. So, but yeah.
Cool.
All right. The next one comes from hacker alias Ballarcade. When Activision gets folded into Microsoft Game Studios, are you more excited about Night Dive level remasters of their back catalog or enhanced remakes like the Spyro and Crash games? What new studio from the merger would you like to see tackle an MS legacy brand?
That's a lot of question.
That's a huge.
Think about that one.
That's a huge library to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, Blizzard going back to the mid '90s, Activision going back to the late '70s or early '80s. I mean, I would love to see some Night Dive style remakes of Activision's really old stuff, or just another Activision collection.
Do we really think that? Because a lot of people are like, once the news about the sale hit, people are like, oh man, we're gonna see like Pitfall and River Raid again, and it's like they're just gonna keep cranking out Call of Duties, right?
See, the thing is with Activision Blizzard, it's not like their ancient library is all they have,
right?
You know what I mean? They've got very huge. Oh, and King Games is part of this deal too, right? So they've got huge modern properties,
right?
That Microsoft's going to be taking advantage of. So I don't know about remakes of that stuff. Although that was one of the things that Bobby Kotick mentioned, like he would love to bring back Guitar Hero and Skylanders, So I mean, you could see that too, but I would like to see them at least mine the catalogs. Maybe not so much full on remakes of things, but like I said, even something like the Activision collection we had back on like the PlayStation 2. You know what I mean? Just I'd love to have a 2600 collection of Activision games, or
Absolutely.
old Blizzard games even before they became Blizzard. Why not?
Mhm. Right.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, I think people sometimes forget the reason big businesses get acquired. They don't get acquired for everything they had. They get acquired for certain things.
Right.
It's not. So I'd be very surprised if Microsoft went that direction and really mined it, because they're not buying Activision for that stuff. They're buying it for the Call of Duties, for those big tentpole properties that they're going to fold somehow into their ecosystem, right? And it's a 4 year down the road. It's a 4 years down the road kind of plan. It's not going to be that, which is a shame, because you're right. There is so much there to develop, but again, all of this is business decision. What kind of ROI am I going to get for my $68.7 billion? The return has to be
Pitfall,
there.
obviously.
Right. That's it's going to fly right off of the virtual shelves. Yes. So, yeah, that's a good question though. I have to think on that. I don't have a quick answer for that one. It's a good question though.
Yeah, it would be, I would be surprised to see. Plus, remaking the really old stuff too, that's so dangerous from a nostalgia perspective, because people have in their minds how those games are supposed to look and play. And I mean, Activision tried that in the mid 90s with Pitfall, and it didn't go well. You know, I mean, they've tried it before, like, and a lot of companies have done that, where it's like, well, we're reimagining this classic. It's like, yeah, but I really liked the classic.
Yeah.
And you didn't really capture it here,
Yeah.
So
Now and by they I mean Activision, they have all the Sierra stuff, right?
Yes.
Correct?
Did they buy Universal? Yeah, they own the Sierra brand. Yes.
Okay. So that would be neat if they were able to do something with a lot of those old classic Sierra games, the Space Quests and King's Quest and the Larrys and that sort of thing.
Police Quest and all that.
Yeah. Willie Beamish.
Willie Beamish.
That's right.
But only the Sega CD version, so that there's
10
10 seconds of loading time every time someone says something.
10 seconds? That's generous.
Well, I mean, if you're, I mean, they'd probably speed up the drive speed a little bit.
Maybe.
It's not crazy.
You put it in this.
Frontier
you put it. That came up. No. Because it came up in my upcoming the episode that's getting released now about Lucasfilm Sierra, and one of my guests was talking very fondly about some pharmacy thing, and I'm like, I've never heard of it.
Freddie Farkas, Frontier Pharmacist.
Freddie Farkas.
That's an Al game.
He kind of loved it. He's like, yeah, it's actually a pretty fun game.
Yeah, the Shoot Larry creator.
Al Lowe, noted Player One podcast alumnus.
That's right. That's what he's mainly known for these days.
What he's mainly known for.
Is coming out of the Player One podcast.
Sure, why not?
Like, what was that? 13 years
7 or
ago,
8 years
maybe?
ago. Yeah. You're saying 7 or 8.
It was an early episode.
Very early.
Very early.
Yeah,
episode.
I don't know why he ever said yes.
He was probably bored one day.
Yeah.
Very bored.
He was great. He was so
He was fantastic. Yeah, man, that was
so
nice.
nice.
That was a really good episode.
Yeah.
He was a fun guy to chat with.
Let's do one more here.
Okay.
This is from Hacker Alias Nar Warrior. What's the worst part about podcasting without CJ? This is for you, Phil.
The worst part of podcasting without CJ? I'm looking for a downside. Hold on.
Wow.
Gotta be something. Oh boy. Not having CJ around? Downside.
I hope he's still in the chat.
Hold on. There's something. We miss him. Coffee Mr. Radar in the chat says no pirate talk.
That's
I
the
guess
worst part?
Huh? That's the worst
As the
part.
worst part?
That's the worst part?
Yeah, we went into the worst part, not the best part.
Oh.
The best part is no pirate talk.
Yeah.
I'd say the worst part's what's going to come next, which is when I have to try to remember what he says during the outro.
Yeah, see. And see, Greg's the one who's gonna. Well, is CJ still gonna be editing this?
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay, good. So
I'm not doing
look
it.
at that. Look at that. Oh man.
If I have to edit it this week, I hope you enjoyed watching the live version. That's all that's going to exist.
We love CJ very much.
CJ's great. We miss him.
We have fun. But we
I
do
can't
miss
wait
our dear friend.
for the world to get back to normal, because the next time I come to Seattle, I'll be staying in whatever spare room he has.
Oh, good.
Remember, I like Sega, so if you're decorating, Sega.
I actually saw
And race
CJ
cars.
this past week.
Wow,
in
you've only
person.
lived in the same city for how many years now?
It's been a while.
And the last time
actually
you saw each other was the last time I was there, wasn't it?
Possibly.
Which is what, 2019?
Maybe. Yeah.
You guys are the worst friends.
Well, he's the bad friend. I'm a good friend. He just doesn't bother calling me, you know.
Phone works both ways, my friend.
Not here. I got one of those one-way phones.
Bat phone.
That sounds amazing.
What was it? Couple years ago, 2 years ago, actually, his he had a birthday party for his daughter, and Finn was invited.
Was Northwest invited?
What's that?
Was Northwest invited?
I-
That's Kanye West's kid.
Oh,
You know, CJ and Kanye go way back.
why the hell would I know what
They used
Kanye
to they used to go to each
West's
other's
name?
they used to go to each other's birthday parties. That's why I'm
Yeah, but
asking.
I didn't know Kanye West. I never hung out with him. I'm certainly not keeping
You said
tabs
it
on
was
what his
it was Charlotte's birthday party.
right. But no,
So I mean, I'm just asking
when
if
you-
CJ
well, here's the
invited his
thing.
best friend's
here's the thing. When
daughter.
you say Northwest, my mind goes to a compass rose, and
That's
not
the point.
you know. I live in the Northwest, so when you say was Northwest invited, I'm just like, what does that mean?
I just told you what it meant.
Well, I know now, but I certainly didn't know 30 seconds ago. No, Kanye West's kid was not there. Even better, though, my kid was there. So,
That's how CJ tells the story too.
yeah. But it was at like a little like ceramic, one of those like paint your own pottery places.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the kids all got to hang out and eat cake and talk and play, and they all got to paint little pottery. And Finn painted a little ceramic cat. But it's it's one of those things. So you paint them with the glaze, and then the place has to fire them.
Yeah, then you go pick them up.
And then you go pick them up. But I guess as the host of the party, CJ picked all the things up for all the guests, and then people could stop by or whatever. But he got them, and then it's CJ, so he's never gonna hang out with me anyway. And then a pandemic hit, so he's had my kid's little ceramic cat for 2 years. So I finally decided to go pick it up from his place before he moved, because he's moving far away from me at this point. So
Who'd blame him?
Still in the area, but he just wants to get out of the blast radius. So it's what?
What I would love is that you went to pick this up and he didn't have it on him, but then when we see his new streaming setup next week, that this cat was like a central piece.
Yeah. Yep. That's where everything is. So
oh well.
But no, so I got it, and we just hung around and chatted for a bit. It was quite pleasant.
You guys chat every week.
Yeah, but
What do you
weren't
have
there,
left to
so
talk about?
We could really open up. You know,
Yeah.
you know.
You're the worst.
I'm the best, and you know it. Don't. I can. I see the.
You're one
twinkle
of
in your
my
eye there.
2 favorite people in Seattle.
That's great.
Yep.
The other one is
CJ's wife.
Steve. Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say Steve Thomason because he's your.
Oh, right. Oh, damn.
He's your
Never, you know
laser
what? I have
active
to.
pal.
I have to rework the rankings.
Am I 3 now?
See, I forgot about including your wives too. So
Yeah.
I don't
yeah,
know.
no, yeah.
Listen,
It's pretty cool.
your wife had a birthday recently, didn't she?
Yeah. Well, we both did.
Yeah, but your wife had a birthday recently, right?
Yeah, but so did I.
Tell her
And
I said
I'm
happy
me.
birthday.
Oh, okay. I will.
I already said happy birthday to you.
Yeah, but did you mean it?
No, but I do mean it when I'm
See?
talking about your wife.
I know you do.
Because she's delightful.
Well, she is.
She's a lovely woman
I like her, but you know,
and an angel, clearly. So,
well, tolerant if nothing else.
all right, that's our show for this week. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard, I don't know what CJ says here, but listen, go to the website,
Yeah.
player1podcast.com.
Yeah.
Please subscribe. That's important.
Mhm.
You can find other stuff at our website, mostly stuff that I write when I get around to it.
Mhm.
Or other videos that I link to as well. Again, mostly me. CJ and Phil don't do shit for the website.
About.
And of course, if you want to chat with other people who claim to like this show, check out our Discord channel, Discord server, Discord channel.
Yeah.
Anyway, check us out on Discord. It's pretty
There it
great.
is.
We vote for our favorite. Right now, we're starting our tournament for the best game of 1996.
Ooh.
We talk about games. We talk about retro games. We talk about sports. We talk about racing. We talk about general. One of them's called General. So we talk about generals.
Nice.
Just like
Excellent.
military leaders throughout the.
Why not? That's what
throughout
I'm led
the
to believe. That's what
years?
the title of the channel is.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
I don't know why we don't talk about, lieutenants or corporals, but hey, I don't make the rules. CJ does. Seriously though, it's a great community. Go check it out.
Mhm.
I think that's as much as CJ says every week. I don't know. I'm never listening. I'm just waiting for my cue.
I guess it's my turn now.
Yep.
Because
This is the worst part about not podcasting
my
with
mind
CJ.
is hardwired to as soon as I hear CJ do his.
What does he say at the end? How does he finish what he
Yeah,
says?
I see. I have no idea what he's saying up to.
No, that's
this
what I'm saying.
point.
What is he
So,
saying that
soon as he
triggers
says-
you
With us and our other listeners.
with us and our other listeners?
And then I
said
start.
it. Yep, I said
Okay.
it.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening device. We're also on Stitcher Radio and Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 podcast or watch us live most weeks on the YouTubes, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the Twitch.televisions. Follow our Twitter account at P1 Podcast to find out when we are doing our next live show. Typically, it is 5:30 specific time every Sunday evening. Typically. So follow our Twitter account to find out when we're doing our next live show. If you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. What are we using the money for?
CJ needs to buy a bunch of old video games.
Oh, that's ouch.
I'm not saying it in a mean way. I'm just saying.
Ouch.
You're a realist, but a cruel realist.
You guys wouldn't let me steal any of the money when my old Transformer toys got stolen out of
Yeah,
my
but video
storage
games are
unit.
important.
Mm-hmm.
Greg.
Ooh.
Greg.
It hurt me a little bit to say it.
Now I'm talking to you. Okay.
Oh, well, okay. If you're talking to your
A G1
co-host of the
Jetfire
Player
toy,
One,
Greg?
if you're talking to the co-host of the Player One podcast,
Mhm.
video
Mhm.
games are more important.
I'm talking to Greg Seward.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's I don't hold the purse strings. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. An inbox complete G1 Jetfire. Okay.
I loved my Jetfire.
Yeah, I did too.
You know why I loved it?
I bet someone else is loving it right now.
Because the Matchbox version of the Robotech Valkyrie sucked.
Well, yeah.
But G1 Jetfire was great.
Such a good
and it was
toy.
the same toy, so or the same
Right.
machine.
I hear you. And some creep got it. Some
Yeah,
creep
that's
did.
messed up.
Ugh,
Not fun.
disgusting.
Hmm.
But you know what? Your Patreon dollars do help support our show. They keep us streaming, keep all the podcast, all the costs that come with running a podcast. CJ handles all this crap. I
CJ
don't
knows
know.
about it. Yeah.
CJ knows. Ask him if you want a breakdown, if you want the receipts and the invoices. I don't deal with it. But you know what? Your Patreon funds do, if you are a subscriber of the $5 tier,
Cheap.
get you
It's
a
nothing.
special weekly bonus episode. We record it right after this. We play games, crack wise, having fun doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular. So, CJ, do we have a game for this week?
We do. We
There
do.
you go, CJ.
It's a Jeopardy game this week.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
We have a Jeopardy game this week. And it should be exciting. Bill, special guest Bill, you are absolutely welcome to join us if you're able to, if you're willing.
I don't know what this Jeopardy thing is, but I'm glad I'll be privileged to join you guys on this journey. So
It's a
I'd
good
love
time.
to.
Have
Right
you
on.
ever seen the popular game show The Jeopardy?
I have. I
It's
have
like
seen
that.
the Jeopardy. Excellent. Very
like
good.
that.
Perfect.
Usually the questions are about video games. They're readers, well, not readers, listeners, I suppose, submit them. And
Oh,
yes.
have
So
fun.
it's usually a good time. So yes, please join us. That would be lovely to have
Yeah,
you.
that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Yes. And I'll tell you what, if you have, and this is not necessarily directed at you, Bill, I'm now back to addressing the listeners as a whole. If you, dear listeners, have a few bucks left over, why don't you head over to patreon.com/generation16, where you can help support Greg Seward's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil. And
Of
if you
course.
are a patron of the $5 per episode variety,
Oh, so cheap.
you get access to the weekly vlog called The Weekly Commute, where I talk about the development of each show and other videos I'm working on. I actually just recorded the footage for my second Let's Read video today. It was Expert Gamer number 65.
Oh my.
First issue of Expert Gamer that I appeared in. Yeah, you get to learn all about that stuff. You get to hear what I really think about Phil and CJ. Although I feel like this week we told the world what we really felt about CJ, but you get to hear what I really think about Phil. It's called The Commute, but of course I sit still in a very safe environment, not piloting any heavy machinery.
No,
while I'm speaking to the camera, because Phil told me that's not safe.
it's not safe. Don't record video while you're driving, man.
Good advice for everybody, me and
Dangerous.
everyone else.
Yeah.
So please support the show. Honestly, I don't put that many videos out a year. Won't cost you that much.
There you
But
go.
the funds go a long way to support the show. So please do so.
And the show is good. You know what? I know I say it every week. It's rote memorization at this point, but I do enjoy Generation 16.
No,
It's,
thanks.
it's a really great series. That's awesome.
Right?
Thank you.
I know very little about the Sega Genesis, and I actually learned quite a bit through them. So I was such a team. I was a Team Nintendo kid, and no, it's great.
Most
It's a
people
really
were.
fun show. Yeah. So yeah, it's an excellent series. So
Thanks, man.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I guess that's it for this week. Oh geez, see, and I usually go.
I know it's ruining the flow.
And I rolled the R's after.
Yep.
So let's Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you
Thank you, Philip.
very much. I guess I'll throw hey CJ, hope your move's going well. I'm not gonna thank him. He hasn't done it. Well, I mean, he's gonna be editing the show. Thanks for editing the show later.
Thanks
CJ.
for editing the show, CJ.
But I do hope that everything went smoothly with your move. Congratulations on the new place.
Absolutely.
And of course, extra special, super ultra thanks to our special guest, Bill Tucker,
Yeah.
from and where tell everyone where they can find you on the internet, Bill.
Yeah, I can be found on the internets at A Gamer Looks at 40 on Twitter, 40. I too have a Patreon, also patreon.com/A Gamer Looks at 4040. There, if you sign up at the friend tier, which is $5, you get 2 extra podcasts a month, which is
Wow.
super duper fun.
Man.
They're actually starting next in 2 weeks for February. So
Nice.
very excited about that. And the show itself is bi-weekly. So yeah, Gamer Looks at 40 on Twitter is where all the things can be found. There. How's that for a plug for myself? It just kind of petered out. It just kind of went away. So
But go listen. It's a great show.
Yeah.
Greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, no, seriously, thank you again for coming on and joining us. We
this
we
is super
love
fun.
having you around. So
Appreciate it.
and looking forward to having you around for the bonus episode as
Yes,
well.
sir.
So
Awesome.
and of course, a big ol' thank you to everyone listening. Again, as always, take care of yourself, take care of your family, your loved ones, your friends, your family. Did I say family already? Take care
Twice,
of them.
yep.
Why not?
They're your family.
And,
Take care of them.
yeah. Do what you got to do to stay healthy. Please stay safe. We love each and every one of you, and we hope that we see you next week. Goodbye, friends.
Toodaloo.